Hi there guys! The FX Panthera, as you see it right here, purposely built for some competition rifle shooting. For instance, some PRS, NRL, kind of type of shooting. Really cool, and I really love this setup. But FX brought out now the FX Panthera Compact Hunter. Can we convert our competition rifle to the Compact Hunter? Let's get started. And the short answer to that question actually is very simple. Yes, you can. So, with the FX Impact, we were used to have like the base platform, and you could swap out different barrel lengths by just taking out one screw, removing the barrel, put the barrel length of your choice inside. You could customize all kinds of things. I've made a video on that, which customizability possibilities you have on the FX Impact. But thanks to the dynamic block on the FX Panthera, it can actually also be exactly what you want. You can swap out barrel lengths, you can swap out rails, you can swap out the back part. Like for instance on the FX Panthera Compact Hunter, you can have a folding stock, you can have a bottle at the front, you can have a bottle at the back, you can have two bottles, you name it, it's too much to cover. The dynamic block on the FX Panthera can really be used to create any kind of platform you really wish, and I think we're only seeing the beginning of this. So, in this video, we're going to cover how to convert your full-blown competition rifle FX Panthera to the FX Panthera Compact Hunter. And what do we need for this? It's actually just the barrel kit, just like you would buy a barrel kit for your FX Impact. Although on the Panthera, it's just a little bit different. Because on the FX Panthera, you have also a plenum that's wrapped around your barrel. So therefore, the installation of the barrel into your FX Panthera will be just a little bit different than we know from the FX Impact. So when you get yourself a barrel kit, for instance now on the Compact Hunter, I have a very short 300mm compact barrel, as well as a matching plenum, because the plenum sizes are matched to the caliber specific barrel length as well. And then you also get yourself a shroud to cover it all up and make it nice and pretty. That's one of the essential parts in order to customize it and make it a lot shorter than with the 700mm barrel. And then in addition, you can also add accessories like for instance this compact rail, just like we have the original one on the FX Panthera, but now you also have a compact rail, making it a lot shorter because you have that shorter barrel. Now, if you don't mount that compact rail, you can also use this bottle adapter, switching out your bottle from the back to the front. Then you can't install the rail, of course, unless you have some aftermarket parts. I also made a video how to install the bottle adapter, so you can mount two bottles, one at the front, one at the back, or just one at the front and make it like a really light compact hunter. Or you want to have two bottles of 300cc of air, or you're going to install the folding stock adapter, so then your bottle at the back will be eliminated and will be mounted in the front, and then you will need this bottle adapter as well. So lots of possibilities to go over in order to customize your FX Panthera just as it is to the Compact Hunter or any other kind of barrel length. So today in this video we're going to focus ourselves on how to replace the barrel and do it safely, because we have a plenum around the barrel which is pressurized, and of course it's a little bit different than the FX Impact. So without further ado, let's head to the tabletop view and make this FX Panthera an FX Panthera Compact Hunter. Let's get started. Right, so here we are. First thing we gotta do is make sure we have a safe rifle. Safe rifle to work on is always very important. So make sure it is not cocked, there are no pellets in the breech, and it has been put on safe. First thing we'll do, drain all the system from air, and we'll start by undoing the bottle at the back. Now you can leave that bottle on, or you can do, for ease of use, remove it, just like this. Now, because all this part of the system is out of air, we have to make sure we also drain our plenum from air. And the easiest thing I found to do is to crack your regulator ever so slightly counterclockwise with a 2.5mm Allen key. And you can, the regulator is now in front, not like with the Impact in the back. Stick that Allen key inside, ever so slightly counterclockwise, and you will hear it bleeding out here from the back. Now it keeps bleeding still a little bit. as this is a very massive plenum, of course, it's almost empty because I can hear it stop. So let's quickly remove my scope. Very easy with those Eagle Vision quick release scope mounts. And then the first thing we can do is actually remove our complete Arca rail guide, or how do you call it? To remove the rail, very easy. Take 2.5mm Allen key. You have 3 screws right here, and you have 3 screws right here. So go ahead and loosen these. And at this point we turn it around, and you have 2 screws in that barricade stop, or how do they call it, that you can access through these 2 holes right there. And I believe it's this size, no, one size bigger. It's easy to use one like this. You can have a little bit more leverage on those screws right there. Stick it into that hole, undo them, just like this. That's one. And that's the second one. And at this point, with those 2 screws out, you can slide out your very long rail and put it to the side, as we will be replacing it with the shorter one. Then one thing I leave up to you is to remove that block that you have right here, but I will demonstrate it in this video as well. It is very simple. Same right here. Crack it open with the correct size Allen key, just like this. You can leave it in place if you want, you don't really have to remove it, but I will do it for the purpose of the video. And that's that little block that keeps everything together. If you really want, you can also remove your barricade stop. It is actually exactly the same. The Allen key is one size smaller. You again have 2 screws inside at the bottom of the barricade. You can see right there. To remove it, and I will remove it for the purpose of showing you where you can mount that bottle adapter if you would like to move your bottle to the front as well. And with the 2 screws removed, your barricade stop also comes off. Now at this point, before we touch the plenum or the barrel at all, let's make again sure everything reads 0, so 0 on the plenum pressure and 0 on the air tank pressure, because there is no air tank anymore in place. So let's remove the shroud first by simply unscrewing . Pull off your shroud. And as you can see, I have installed some FX Airguns barrel weights to balance out my Panthera, but I think for the purpose of the video we can still leave them in place, since we'll be removing the complete barrel assembly. Before we loosen the screws at the back, you have 2 screws here at the front that clamp on to your barrel. Simply take your Allen key, loosen them up. You don't have to take them out completely, just like so. And then in order to release the barrel, you have 1 screw right here and you have 1 screw right here that clamp down on the barrel. So let's undo those with a smaller Allen key, of course. 2.5 millimeter. I don't think you have to take them out all the way. Just like this should be good enough. Same on the other side, because you have two screws clamping down on that barrel. Once they stick out just a little bit, it should be fine. And with your barrel clamps or the barrel screws loose and your clamp at the front, it should be as simple as sliding out that barrel, just like this. And that's the complete barrel assembly, 700 millimeter. Maybe something to mention, it looks a little bit different than the barrels that we know from the FX Impact. There's no O-ring around it, transfer port, just one, no double-sided transfer port, only a slug port, because this is a really dedicated slug gun. Now at this point we should be able to unscrew your plenum. Just like this. And there you have it. That's a strip down of the complete front end. And as you can see, this is where your barrel goes into with not sure what this color is, but it has some O-rings inside to catch on the barrel. The part underneath you see right there, that's where your valve is behind. I can slightly push it here, as you can see. Really cool. Then we have the first brass plug you see right here. I believe that's just a plug or something, not really sure what this is for. And then we have the plug at the bottom, where you can screw in this accessory. That's the FX Hunter double air adapter kit that just threads in. If you remove that plug, this one can thread right in, and then you can move your bottle from the back to the front and have your bottle at the front. Or you can add an extra 300cc carbon fiber bottle, but then you can't put that rail. And when you remove the bottle from the back and you move it to the front and you just want to have one single bottle, in that kit also comes this piece right here, and that's called a plug. So you remove the bottle adapter at the back, put that plug in, and then you're ready to go. Right, so now let's start off with the basics, and that's installing the new barrel with the new plenum and the shroud, of course. As you can see, the barrel kit consists out of a new plenum, which in the case of a 300mm barrel is a lot smaller. As I mentioned before as well, these are optimized for the given barrel length and the given caliber, of course, as well. So the first and easiest thing to do is to screw on your plenum. Always make sure that the O-rings on here, the sealing O-rings, are still fine. They're still well lubricated, and I see mine can use a little bit of lubrication. And always use some air gun lube. This one is by Yuma Air. Just a small drop is more than good enough. Making sure those O-rings stay nice and lubricated so they can seal and do their job. Like so. Let me quickly wipe my hands. Take your plenum, screw it on, just like so. Make sure everything is nice and hand tight. Second part you want to do is to install your barrel. Now, if you look at the brass part of your barrel, don't know if you can see it good enough in camera, there is a small dimple here at the bottom of the brass opening at the port, which corresponds with your transfer port. This way you can know if your barrel is perfectly down and aligned, but the screws here on the side will help as well. Same here, just put a little bit of lubrication on it so it slides nicely through the O-rings. that we have seen in that silver part right there. Like this. Slide it in from the front, guide it through, nice and gentle, through the O-rings that are there. As you can see, you can stick it out a little bit too far as well, which is not the meaning, of course. Make sure you look for the dimple, as I can see it right there. Down. Make sure the brass part is nice and flush with the face of the breech opening. Now, as you have seen on the side of the barrel, let me quickly take the other one to show you, there are two flat faces. As you can see right here, you have a flat face, and as well on the other one. By tightening up those screws and wiggling a little bit with the barrel, the alignment with your transfer port over the opening right there inside will be perfect, so don't worry about that. So let's screw this one in just a little bit. It's actually a little bit the same technique as with the plenum on the FX Impact. Wiggle with it, and every time you tighten it a little bit, just like this. Then you can tighten them up like so. And for a quick reference, you can always take a magazine. Cock your Panthera, hold down on your cocking lever so by accident it doesn't slide forward or anything. Make sure your magazine still fits like it should. Perfect. Decock it just like this. And that is actually already the barrel and the plenum installed. We can just tighten up those two screws here that clamp down on the barrel. Same 2.5 millimeter. Do them up together, not just one by one. Also doesn't have to be gorilla tight, so you don't strip out any threads. Like so, should be good enough. You can put one of those FX airgun weights to balance it out if you really want, or you can just go ahead and put your shroud back on. I forgot to mention, it also comes with a separate kit of screws to mount the new block you have right here to put that rail, etc. So like this. Perfect. Now the small compact barrel of 300 centimeters or 30 centimeters is installed. Really good. At this point you can have an option to swap out your bottle from the back to the front and have yourself a compact hunter light, which you will need then that bottle adapter with the plug for the back and the bottle adapter for the front, and move your 300cc bottle to the front. Or you move it and you use that bottle adapter when you have the folding stock adapter. You can fold your stock and then your air supply will have to move to the front. It also consists out of a new part right here in order to seal it off this way. But in my case, I'm going to make the compact version with a compact rail, and therefore I will have to reinstall this part right here that sits underneath that barrel where everything tightens up to. So make sure the threads start nicely. Quick tip, some Allen keys with that ball at the end can also be quite handy if you tried to screw something in on an angle. Pinch them up with a 90-degree one, like so. Let's slide on the rail we have here, like so. Let's remember the shorter ones are for the top and the longer ones are for the bottom two holes. Let's put the other ones from the other side first before we tighten them up. Shorter one for the top, longer one for the bottom. With all the screws in, we can tighten these up. Let's put our barricade stop back on in this direction. Let's start with the screw at the back, which is this one, screwing it in the bottom of the rail, just as with the longer one, like this. And that's the rail installed, the barrel installed, the new plenum installed, everything works perfectly, so we can fill it back up with air. Remember, you will need a little bit of air in order to do this, so keep your bottle on hand maybe, as the plenum takes quite a chunk of air from your 300cc bottle. What I always like to do is make sure you cock it so the valve has tension on it, and then gently screw in the barrel. You hear the plenum charging. The charging stops. Let's decock it. Check the pressure. 146. It should be set around 150, but I see my bottle pressure dropped from 200 to 150 just to fill up that plenum, of course. And so there you have it, guys, the FX Panthera Hunter Compact, converted in just a few minutes. A little bit more difficult, or not more difficult, but a little bit more different than we are used to the FX Impact, where you just undo one screw, pull out the barrel, put another one in, and you're ready to go. Here you have to degas the complete system, because we have that plenum that is wrapped around the barrel, of course. But still, nevertheless, not so difficult to do, and actually a very simple procedure. And now you can enjoy yourself a very nice compact Hunter, which is pretty cool, 22 caliber for me, 300 millimeter barrel, producing probably also a ton of power thanks to this dynamic block. Now, as always, I thank you for watching. Please leave a comment section down below, or leave a comment in the comment section down below. That really boosts the algorithm by YouTube, because I feel like lately my channel is getting a little bit put it on the back foot for YouTube regarding what I do on my channel. So if you leave a comment right there below, then it can really help out the algorithm and boost my channel a little bit up again. So, as always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment as well, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.